Well, hello. You're probably new here, so I should introduce myself. My name is Alicia. I live overseas in Tajikistan, Central Asia, with my husband and my 1-year-old son, and one on the way. And today, I want to talk about cloth diapers. Now, I'm going to try to do this as concise and to the point as possible. This isn't a thorough cloth diaper expose because I feel like I want you guys to tell me what more you want to know about cloth diapers, if there is anything more. So I'm just going to tell you my experience over the last year of cloth diapering. And I am such a nerd, such a geek about these things. I can watch these videos for days, for hours, and in fact I did before I had my son. These are all of the videos that I watched to make sure that I got the exact ones that I wanted, and actually I feel like we made pretty good choices. So I just wanted to add my 1-year expertise and knowledge into the mix and hopefully help some of you who are considering cloth diapering or who already cloth diaper but could use a few more tips. So like I said, I have been cloth diapering for a little over a year now. My son is 1.5 years, and we started, I believe, when he was at that threshold. I think it's 8 pounds, but actually we did cloth diapers when we felt like postpartum was a little bit more manageable and we could add that into the mix. So that's a future tip. You don't have to start right away. Wait until you can mentally handle it. And the reason why we started, I'll get into more of it later, but I just really liked the idea of having something that's reusable, that I could pass down. And as a Christian, as a believer, I just feel like we have an obligation to steward the earth and its resources well, and I just didn't like the idea of constantly throwing things away, having so much waste and contributing to the waste when there are alternatives that we can do to help that. So that's why I looked into cloth diapering in the first place. Now, the types of cloth diapers that I have, there are so many options to choose from, and even after I bought mine, I realized there are so many more that I didn't even know about that are much cheaper. However, because we knew that we were moving overseas to a country where getting quality cloth diapers was not necessarily accessible, I knew that I wanted to get the best of the best. I knew that even if it was a little more expensive, I wanted to buy it because I didn't want to have to get all the way here and have to wait until we go back to America in order to get the brand that I actually want or that actually worked. So it was really important to me to find the right quality, and where we ended up is with GroVia and, why am I blanking on the second name? GroVia and, why do I want to say Nora, Nora's Nursery. I meant to count exactly how many cloth diapers I have, but after I finish recording this, I'll insert the number here. Exactly how many we bought and how many we use currently. I know the number that we initially bought is so much higher than the ones we actually took overseas, and so I'll include that here, but we don't actually have that many, and it's been working for us just fine. So the GroVia ones that we got look like this. They are the snap, and we also got the Velcro ones, and here is the insert, and you just snap it in eventually, and it just goes on their bum like this. And if this doesn't get wet or soiled, you can unsnap it, change it out for a new one of these. And then the second one we got was from Nora's Nursery, and these are the pocket diapers. So they're little snaps, and you just stuff them inside like so. Real life demonstration. And it goes on them like that. Now, if I could do it all again, I probably would go with either one of two. The GroVia ones that are just Velcro, or there's another version that is all-in-one. And I remember when I was watching videos about them, people were saying that they're harder to clean or things get stuck in little crevices in places, but that happens with the ones that I have now, and you just have to be more diligent about cleaning them, which is fine because you have to be diligent about cleaning cloth diapers anyway. So I think if I could do it all again, I might search for brands that are all-in-one. I'm pretty sure GroVia has one that is all-in-one, so I don't know why my brain didn't, I mean, you don't know until you try. So for me, what I really like about the pocket is that when it comes off, it all comes off and it all goes in the wash. But I don't like having to take out a soiled thingy-mabob insert and then put it in the wet bag or in the wash. So to be able to just take it off, spray it down, and put it all in one place, I think that is a pro for me. And as far as the GroVia Velcro, these little button snap thingies, there is a learning curve to them, and I just feel like the way GroVia words it on their website, they don't say Velcro. They say something like latch and hook or something like that made it seem like there was a physical hook, and I don't know why my brain didn't do more research into that. But when I received them and realized they were Velcro, I was like, why don't we just do this? However, I did hear people say that over time, the elasticity or the stickiness of the Velcro goes away. But it's been over a year and the Velcro has been fine. So I guess we'll see how it holds up in time. But like I said, it's been over a year and the Velcro is still going strong. So I think it just simplifies your life. You're not having to figure out exactly which buttons, you're not aligning any buttons, especially overnight. I would definitely choose Snap diapers and the Velcro and the all-in-ones over Pocket. Like I said, it really isn't a big deal to stuff them and to take them out, but why make it more complicated than it has to be if other options are available? So I really like the simplicity of things. The more you can simplify your diaper changing process, I just feel like, why not? Also, let's talk about material. So I believe, and I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but if I'm correct, Nora's Nursery does, I think it's a mixture of bamboo and microfiber. If not, it's just bamboo. And I really love that. I know many videos that I've watched and many friends that I've talked to, and microfiber is just not the best. And so I would go bamboo all the way. Now let's talk about used cloth diapers. This is definitely a more affordable option, and I know people who have done it with multiple children and it has worked for them. For me, how my brain works, I think if I want to do it with multiple children and the cloth diapers have already been through multiple children and we know they lose absorbency throughout time, for me it just wasn't worth it to go the used route. Who I would recommend used for are people who maybe aren't sure if cloth diapering is something they want to do and they don't want to spend a bunch of money. Of course, do used. It's so much cheaper. It's like half the price to find full sets of cloth diapers on Facebook Marketplace. So I would do used if that's the case. But yeah, if you plan to use them with multiple children, I just don't see why you would go the used route unless you want to do cloth diapering but expenses is holding you back. Which brings me to another tip. For me, how I got all of my cloth diapers, or a majority of them, is that I put them on my registry. And again, we were moving overseas, so our registry was already so minimal and so small that the cloth diapers took up a majority of the registry, making it so that people more naturally bought those instead of like random frivolous things. Like whenever someone asked me, how can we help, what can we get for the baby, I always sent them the cloth diapers. So pretty much all of our cloth diapers were a gift to us, and that I think is a helpful tip if you are planning to do cloth diapers, you haven't had your baby shower yet, or you're nearing birth and people are asking you what can they do for the baby, this is a really cost-effective way to do it, because I definitely would not have been able to afford to buy all of them all at once. Okay, so let's talk about the pros of cloth diapering, and specifically with GroVia and Nora's Nursery. One, obviously you don't have to continue to buy diapers, and this is a big enough pro for me that it outweighs all of the cons. I forgot to mention that we actually don't cloth diaper at night. We do disposable diapers during nap time and at night, and sometimes if we go out and we're traveling out and about, and even just buying diapers for that is, I don't know, they're expensive and it just feels so wasteful. I think that outweighs all of the cons, is that you can reuse them, they're there, and it's environmentally friendly. Also, like I've mentioned, you can use them for additional children. If you wash them correctly, maintain them correctly, don't do a bunch of stuff to them, you will be able to use these for basically all of your children, unless you're having like 15 babies. I think that is also a pro that outweighs all of the cons. Like, the amount of money that you will save by going this route is like, there's no comparison to me, unless you're rich and you can just do it. But for me, it was the wiser, more economic choice, I think, for me and my house. Also, on a less serious note, they are really cute. Like, they come in the cutest colors, and I'm always seeing Nora's Nursery coming out with the cutest sets. That's another pro of Nora's Nursery, is that they sell them in sets. I believe GroVia might. I think you can build your own set or something like that, but they don't come in like these. These came in a set of 5, I believe, with the inserts included. So I love that about them. Look at this. I just think that is so cute, and you don't feel as bad when you just throw a diaper on them and a t-shirt and they look cute. I think so, at least. Now we can talk about the cons. The cons of GroVia. One, they are more expensive. I think for one of them, depends on which shell you go with, which style, or what is it called when they release different collections? Depends on what collections you go with. They range anywhere from like $13 to $18 just for the shell. So you have to purchase the snap insert separately, and that adds up, because you need more of these than you do of these typically. And so you will have to be prepared to spend a little bit more money, which I wish it wasn't the case, but again, if you are investing in this, you do have to see it as an investment. Like, you will see the return of it, especially if you can get them as a gift. But so yeah, they are expensive. Also, they are messy, both of them. No matter what brand you get, cloth diapering can be really messy, and I'm more so talking about cleanup. Once your baby starts eating solid food, you no longer can just take it off and throw it in the wash. You have to spray off the poop into the toilet, and that can get really messy. So you do have to be a little more, you can't be someone who's queasy or squeamish about these things. You have to like really get familiar with poop, honestly, and the smell and all of that jazz. Because if you've ever smelled cloth diapers that have been sitting in a wet bag for a couple days, it's not the best. So it is a little messy, it is a little more smelly, but yeah, if you can handle that, then you can do it. And another thing is, there is a learning curve. I will say that. Like, once you find the brand, get all the stuff that you need to, once you actually start cloth diapering, I feel like there is a little bit more of a learning curve, learning how to get the perfect fit with the buttons and everything. There's so many buttons. I feel like I don't know, it works, but why is it so complicated? So I would recommend spending some time like getting familiar with it before you just wing it with your newborn. But once you do get a hang of it, it becomes second nature. It's not the worst. It's not so bad that you can't do it. But like I said, that's why I would prefer just the Velcro or the all-in-ones, which I don't know how they snap together. But yeah, I think in the beginning we had a lot more leaks because number one, my son was smaller, so it was harder to get a good fit. Now we barely have leaks unless he goes a little too long without being changed. They're not like disposable diapers where they just absorb and absorb and absorb. Like, you do have to change them, I would say, a little bit more frequently, and if you don't get the fit right, they will leak more. So I would say that is a con, but that happens in both of them, in GroVia and Nora's Nursery. Also, I don't know how other people feel about this, but I don't particularly like having to carry a wet bag around with me. Number one, I love having just everything small and compact. I love carrying around a fanny pack as my diaper bag, and so I am more inclined to do disposable diapers when we are traveling outside of the home because I don't want to fit a wet bag. I can't fit a wet bag inside of my fanny pack, so then I have to bring my big purse, and then I have to bring like the wet bag and on top of the wipes, on top of it, just, I don't know, and then it's stinky. That can be a con for some people, which is why we mostly do disposables when we're out. I've gotten used to it. I have a huge bag anyway, so if I'm wearing that bag, why not? It's fine. It is what it is. We're doing what we can for our pockets, for the environment, for the Lord. It is what it is. But I think that takes care of like the bulk of cloth diapering, GroVia versus Nora's Nursery. Like there really isn't that much more to it. I will get into the essentials that you need and my wash routine and some resources that really helped me, but outside of that, there's really not that much to it. I feel like before I started cloth diapering, it was this huge unknown world and I was so hesitant and like I had to know everything about it, and just, yeah, I'm that type of person that likes to research everything, be very thorough, and like make the right decision. But once we started doing it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is easy. It's more second nature. Once you figure out the brand, the essentials, the wash routine, like you got it, you can do it. It's very easy. As far as the essentials or things that I find to be so helpful. Like you can live without them, but why would you if you don't have to? The first thing is a sprayer. Now, we actually don't have a sprayer, but our shower head reaches to our toilet and we turn it to the most powerful, like massage like setting, and that's how we spray. I feel like once your baby does start consuming solids and they have a more solid poop, like how else would you clean that? I guess there are other methods. I heard of like swishing it in the toilet or like washing it in the sink or the bathtub. I suggest a sprayer that will make your life much more simple, and put that on your registry too. That has helped us so much. And when you are cleaning it, if you have a powerful enough sprayer, it can get really clean. And it basically looks like it hasn't even been used. At least with our sprayer, it makes it so that when you do put it in the wash, you're not worried about any stains because you wash them all away basically. Also, when we do cloth diaper at night, we use soaker pads. So on top of these guys, we put an additional soaker pad layer just to add an extra layer of security, because at night they pee a lot more and they go a lot longer without being changed. So it's helpful. We actually don't use it all the time, but I think it is something that is helpful just to give you peace of mind that they're not being completely soaked all throughout the night. The next thing would be these little like liner things. Hold on, let me grab these guys. So basically you take it off like this. It's like a paper towel roll, and you put it on like this and put it on your baby. Now, if you ask my husband, he would probably say this is the most essential thing. He gets upset if I don't put those on because they are so helpful at catching poop and keeping the poop in one place and not from sloshing all around in there and getting it more stained and more stinky and smelly. Like, it literally catches it for the most part, unless it's a blowout, and you can just take it off, throw it in the trash, and sometimes we literally have a perfectly clean diaper afterwards. So I don't see why not. They come in these huge packs. We started using them. We forgot about them. We brought them over, we forgot about them. They came in a pack of 4, which I think each has like 100 or 200, I don't know. But they last a really long time and they're like 20 bucks. So I don't see why not. These are essential. Put them on your registry and try it out. I bet you will feel the same. And then obviously a wet bag. I think a wet bag is essential because when you're changing, you need a place to put those dirty diapers until you do laundry again, which I didn't mention as another con. That is another con. You will have a lot of laundry. It is an extra load of laundry, but you're gonna do laundry anyway. I don't know, for me, it's not that big of a deal, but it would be a con for some people, especially if you have a larger family and you're always doing laundry. However, I learned from, who is it? Sarah Therese or Delilah, Milena? They said a load a day keeps the pile away, and that's so true. I do a load a day anyway. What's another load of a cloth diaper? Again, we're doing it for reasons that are bigger than just not wanting to have laundry. So yeah, I think it's worth it. As for our wash routine, I also researched this a lot, probably more than I needed to. Basically, we throw the cloth diapers in, we make sure everything's separated, turn the wet bag inside out, make sure everything's in there, all the poop is cleaned off, and then we do one rinse cycle on cold for like 30 minutes without soap, just to rinse it, get everything clean in that way. And then we do another cycle on warmish to hot water for like an hour and a half. To be honest, our washing machines have been in Russian since we moved here, so I can't exactly tell you what wash cycle we do it on, but there is a resource called Fluff Love University that will give you all of the information you need about washing, drying, and all of that jazz. I think, yeah, that is where I went to learn this stuff. But the common consensus is that doing at least one pre-wash cycle plus a longer, warmer cycle is the way to go. And that's what we've done, and that's what's worked for us. I do notice that when we don't get all of this stuff off with the sprayer, there are stains. Now, it's been winter here, so we haven't been able to hang them up to dry outside like we would have liked. It's been cold, it's been rainy, and also we've been on a 3rd floor apartment, so there's not really a space to hang them up outside. But if I know that when it was summertime and we did hang them outside, the stains just disappear. I don't know how it works, something with the sun, it just literally bleaches out all the stains. So yeah, I think that's really all there is to it. Also, to mention, when, I think I've mentioned it, but when your baby is breastfed versus eating solids and formula, when they're breastfed, you can literally, you don't have to worry about spraying or anything. You just take off the diaper, put it in the wet bag or put it in the washer, wash it, and you're good to go. Because it's water soluble, it just goes somewhere and you're good. When they are on solids or formula, you do have to spray off the poop. So that's the only difference between the two. Man, I miss those days when we could just take them off and throw them in, but they're coming again. I feel like I just fire hosed all of this information out. I hope it all makes sense. I hope it is all coherent. Again, I love talking about these things. I literally don't have enough friends to talk about it with because I don't want to overwhelm them with all of the cloth diaper talk. So if you are like me and you want to talk about cloth diapering, you have questions, leave them in the comments below and I will either answer you in the comments or I can create a whole nother video addressing your questions specifically. That would be so fun for me. So just let me know. Let me know what you want to know and I'll get back to you. Anyway, I think that's all for this video and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. From my soul to yours.